Hey guys, welcome to Meg's Moments. Now, in honor of Passover, the Passover story happens in Egypt, and I found a book for us about modern day Egypt called We're Sailing Down the Nile. Do you remember the Nile was the river that baby Moses got put in when he was a baby? Remember that one? Where is baby Moses? Moses, Moses, where is baby Moses? On the river Nile. That's where we were. So here is a modern day book about Egypt and the Nile. We're sailing down the Nile, a journey through Egypt by Laurie Krebs and Ann Wilson. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll visit Abu Simbel in just a little while. We see the temple just ahead, Jabbar's in the lead. We stand before the statues, feeling very small indeed. So, do you see? There are the statues. And there they are. There's one of the boats. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll shop at Aswam's market in just a little while. Kalila guides us to the souk. We buy some food to share. We'll picnic on the island with others gathered there. So they went to the market and they got some food, and now they're going to have a picnic on the island. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll reach the Valley of the Kings in just a little while. You see all the sand? Our pharaohs once were buried here, says Abraham with pride, and Tutankhamun's tomb was found with treasures packed inside. So remember, in the story, Moses goes and talks to Pharaoh. So they're talking about the kings of Egypt, and this is one of the tombs of one of the kings of Egypt. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll be at the oasis soon in just a little while. An oasis is a place in the desert where there's water, so then they have lots of trees growing. Zahara greets the farmers who are harvesting their crops. They'll take their fruit and veggies to sell in village shops. So there's all the farmers and all the things they've been growing. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll see the Cairo skyline in just a little while. So far we've been seeing something that looks like it could have been around for a long time, but now we're getting to the modern city of Cairo. Inside the vast museum halls, we'll see fantastic things. Mustafa spies the mummies of the crocodiles and kings. Climb aboard the riverboat. We're sailing down the Nile. We'll hike to Giza's pyramids in just a little while. So when most people think of Egypt, this is what they think of, are these giant pyramids. Jamila knows these wondrous tombs, built centuries ago, still rise above the city with the fabled Sphinx below. So this is a really famous statue by the pyramids, and it's called the Sphinx. And it's got the head of a man but the body of like a giant cat. Climb aboard the riverboat. We've sailed along the Nile and traveled across Egypt for just a little while. The day is nearly over. The sun sets in the west. We'll dream about our journey and the places we love best. And here is a map of Egypt. So Egypt is really a special kind of place because most of Egypt is so dry, but the area along the Nile, the river overflows and it makes this really rich land for farmers to plant on. So that is why people could live there even though it was a desert. And remember in the Moses story when they got to the Red Sea, here it is. So see, there's the Nile and there is the Red Sea. So they were escaping from the Pharaoh across all that land on this map, and that is where they got to the Red Sea, and then they had to cross through it with it being parted, and then they got probably up here. They got up here and we're escaping here because look, there's Israel. So look at that. Pretty cool, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story of We're Sailing Down the Nile.